stories. Stories?
In Instagram.
Yes, no? Who is mentally with me? 3 people, 4? Thank you. So, I don't know about you, but I like stories, and I would like to invite on stage our ex-president, actually one of the first presidents. Well, there was the founder, and then there was this first president who is not mentally with me. Sergey, first president. Okay, how are you?
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm great, as always.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you actually, you know, how was it when you were guys just starting the club? How was it? Like, could you tell us about the process, about the people who came? I don't know, anything. Tell us. I don't know.
Now I know how those war veterans feel, you know, when you ask how was it 1945. So, taking a page from your book, remember, when the US dollar was 30.
That was a long time
Imagine how
ago.
much more you could buy if it was still 30 rubles right now.
Like a Bitcoin.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, 5 years ago, and a new club appeared. We have heard about how WorldSurfers are great travelers. So the name of the club has a meaning because its members used to travel a lot. Some of them actually have left us and now live in different countries. But for me, WorldSurfers is also about something else. I'll tell you just a short story about how the WorldSurfers Club was actually born. I was not part of that story myself. I came a little bit later. But you could say that WorldSurfers was born as a rebellion. Now, you know rebels, right? Pick your favorite rebels. You know, the Star Wars rebels, Robin Hood, whoever.
Navalny.
Yeah, we don't talk about politics here, but your favorite rebel in your mind, and imagine this club as a rebel alliance. Because the way it went, the founder of the club, she was a member of the executive committee in one of the older or established clubs. And she didn't like the way she was treated there, didn't like the way things were going. And then she decided, I'll make a new club, my own club with blackjack and Toastmasters. And it will be great. And so a new club was born. And from the start, it was a bit different. Like, we'll use the same system. Toastmasters is used in like, how much is it? 16,000 clubs, I think, at the moment, around the world. Same system, but each club is a little bit different. So with WorldSurfers, the difference from the other previously established Moscow clubs was that we had this rebel spirit. We didn't have a lot of tradition. Actually, the first executive committee was composed of basically newcomers, people with no real experience in Toastmasters. We didn't have this baggage, just had desire to make something new and great. And this is how it went. So from year to year, 5 years have passed, but still when I look at the club now, I see that it is more innovative in many ways. If you draw a spectrum of the clubs from the more order leaning to the more freedom leaning, WorldSurfers is closer to the freedom edge. I think it is a great thing that we have variety in the Toastmasters community, and I think WorldSurfers was a great addition to Moscow Toastmasters. I'm happy to have been part of this story, and I wish all of you to really realize fully the potential that this club gives to you and become better public speakers and leaders in WorldSurfers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And actually, since I heard that Sergey is leaving in 5 minutes, since I'm his personal evaluator, we'll break the order of the meeting a bit. I'll just give the few brief comments I have about your speech right now. Now, as Sergey has said, like what, 80% of what is being said in a speech is lost into thin air. Let's check that now. How much do you remember? How many hooks can you remember? 1, 2, 3, how many? 5. Remembers what? 5. Did you have 5? Ah, that's
They
5.
remember more than
Great.
I had.
Yeah, so they remember even more than you gave. So that's probably an indication that it was a great speech. Say an entertaining speech. So the things that I really enjoyed about the presentation was, of course, the masterful delivery, what we call stage presence. So when you moved around the stage, you used all these elaborate gestures, you modulated your voice. It was really great stuff. We also had useful tips, which were tailored to the audience. We are, after all, in a public speaking club, and people want to learn about public speaking. So this is a really great thing, useful and entertaining. You interacted with the audience, asking questions, drawing people in. Great stuff. And one thing I did during the break, not something I normally do, but now I think probably that's something a personal evaluator should do. When I saw a group of people talking to Sergey and giving him feedback, I approached them thinking, maybe I can find some ideas for evaluation. Because when you evaluate a speaker as experienced, as Sergey is, you have to take everything you get. And there, I got some ideas which confirmed some of the things I heard, and now I'm happy that I can give you some constructive feedback, not just praise you. So some of the things that I think you might do differently in your next speech, great as it was. I mentioned that the movement and the gestures and the variety were all strong points of your speech, but you, as far as I remember, you didn't have a lot of quiet moments. So it was all storm and never quiet. And when you do this, it is entertaining, but probably it blunts the effectiveness of these instruments as means of getting attention. Because when you're always doing spikes, then people just get used to this. This is the new normal. So when you have low moments and high moments, at the high moments, that's when you get the people's attention. Because I understand you tried to put a lot into a really short speech, but something to think about. Keep some quiet moments and then keep the spikes. Sometimes I think you, when I said that you have this topic adapted to the audience, maybe in some regards you could work on that. Like when you say the attention span, you said attention span is shrinking, and then you went on. I looked around the audience at that time. I don't think many people got the full meaning of this. So maybe you could have said, well, yeah, no, the amount of time the grown-up person can really focus on something is going down. There is some research, maybe briefly, but don't just limit yourself to this small comment that you just jump through it. Maybe some of the people didn't get it. And overall, maybe about adapting to the audience, you talked fast like I do now. I think it may have impacted the comprehension about the room a bit. Maybe for some of the people it wasn't so comfortable, because again, I saw you interacted with the audience, you asked some questions. I saw some people, they did not react. I don't think because they didn't have anything to say, that they didn't know something. They just couldn't grasp what you just said. Maybe talking too fast like I do now. It's not the best idea for a public speaker. But otherwise, this was a really great performance, and I think that we all here at WorldSurfers benefit from having strong professional speakers such as Sergey coming to our meetings, and we can learn something from them. Hopefully, Sergey can also draw something useful from these meetings.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you so much. Thank you for the evaluation. Sorry for the change of the order. Now would like to continue with our original program. Sorry.